Now I'm going to do the trick with the very wet black on the stairs. So I'll just start from the one side and just pull it over. And this gives the stairs some illusion of height. And there we go. And I'll do it on the other stair. Oh, get the top here. All right, there we go. You could also do a few flicks with the black on the stairs to give it some extra detail. And there we go. Now that I've got the stairs, I'm going to add a little bit of that black to the bridge too. So I'll just wet it down, and I'm kind of gonna go across. Now I'm not worried about getting on these bands because I'm going to kind of paint the bands. So gunmetal, like their metal banding. So let me get the edges of that too. Now I'm going to also put a little bit on the bridge itself, just to kind of make it look a little distressed. So, all right, there we go. So look how good that bridge is looking. All that layers of detail really makes this bridge pop. Now one last thing I'm going to do is to add some color to the banding of the bridge, and I'm going to use a gunmetal. So get that on my brush, and I've got this band. So it'll make it look like the bridge's metal shod. And I'm going to paint the area around the wheels that lift the bridge. I'm going to paint that a gunmetal too. Now I've got the wheels painted brown, but the curvature of the wheel, I'm going to paint that the gunmetal, so it looks like it's a notched metal wheel. And that's just super easy. You don't really have to get it on that thick. If you can see through a little bit, that's fine, because you got brown and black, and that just adds to the effect. So yeah, I'm not painting this on super thick. So there we go, we've got our metal banding on the bridge. So check out how good that looks. And I'll do the other bridge and the other side of this drawbridge, and we'll be ready to cross our ravine. Now you could definitely go with this, the stairway. This is fine, but another little technique you can do is use a Sharpie, and you could actually draw out boulders or blocks on this stair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 lines here, and then I'll do 3 here, and then 2 here, and then 3 here. And now what I'm going to do is make these a little more interesting. So I'm going to kind of flare, going to go back over the line, not going to make it totally straight, kind of flare the ends. Since this is a very worn stair. Now you can also add some little nicks in the edge maybe. You could also add some cracks. Just go very lightly. So it adds a nice little detail to those stairs and makes them look like individual blocks. So that's another technique you can do if you want. So with the center dry, you can really see that effect that I was going for. Now I'm going to use the light gray and start picking out the edges. Also a little bit in the center. You want to hit those rubble piles too so those stones pop out. Now you may think, wow, sometimes that you're getting too light of a color that you wanted. But remember, oftentimes the paint will dry darker than when you first put it on. So that edge, picking out that edge really adds. And then don't neglect the center also. Just don't get too much on there. You don't want to put too much, except for the rubble piles. And just continue on the whole thing. Okay, and like everything, two tones adds a little more depth to color. So if you just hit it with one color, it's not as interesting. So I'm going to add a little bit of moss to these rocks, and I'm just going to stipple on some green. Just randomly stipple it on. So it just adds some more interest. Now I'm going to come back and add a different green that's a little bit lighter and see how that kind of pops out a little bit. Just add some interest. And I'm just stippling on this on. I'm not putting it on too heavy. So there you go. You can see that adds a little bit of interest to the boulders. And I'll finish up the entire length of the piece, and then we'll move on. So all the elements of our centerpiece are ready. We've got the ravine, and we have the drawbridge spanning the crevasse. And kind of give you an idea. So I have a couple figures on the bridge for scale. So there's the bridge. And take the figures off the bridge and kind of show how that lifts up. And there we go. So there's our drawbridge. So 360 degree there. And now we'll put all the elements together, and we'll see how spectacular this encounter is going to look.